Hey there. So something new that I've actually talked about in some of my other videos is about writing things down. And so when I say write things down, I don't mean just like grab a little sticky note and write "be happy today" or something and stick it on the fridge. I mean, I think things like that, they can help keep you focused and such. But when I say write things down, here's what I mean, and this is what I do. So here's some books that I've written, and what I do is I write 1 page a day. So I write here, like this one here started in March 2012 to May 2012, then we go June to August, August to September, and it just keeps going. I've got book after book after book, and I write 1 page a day. So like here you'll see the page I wrote for the day. I always write the date on the top. And then what I'm writing is I'm writing down to, it's almost like a roadmap. So I'm writing in terms of not what I see around me unless I want to continue what I see around me. So, but a lot of times people want something different than where they're at. They want more money, or they want better health, or they want to travel, or they want whatever it is you might want, a relationship or a better relationship. So when I write, what I do is I just open up my book, I'll write today's date, and then there's a variety of things that I write, but I will write it in terms of what it is where I see myself. So I may enjoy driving my new whatever kind of car it is, and it's this color. And I love how it feels driving down the highway and the windows are down and the air is circling in and I've got the radio going and the sun is shining and it just feels amazing. And when I do that, I'm projecting myself to that point that I want to be in that kind of car and what it's like. So when we do that, we actually feel what it's like at that moment there. So a lot of times you might hear things of, it's okay to want something, but then you got to let it go. And it's like, what do you mean let it go? I mean, that sounds confusing to me. How do I let it go and then not still want it? But really, when you're writing this down as you desire for it to be, then you're feeling that moment of how it feels. Like, what does it really feel like? Oh, that feels really good. And you may not physically be there right now, but you are really living that feeling as if you are. And that's really so powerful because that's really playing with your subconscious, which is then going to go to work to put together the things that you're imagining because it doesn't know if it's really happening or if it's not really happening. And so that's a big difference from, I don't like this piece of crap I'm driving right now. I want something else. There really isn't anything there. And really what your subconscious is picking up is you're not happy with where you're at now. And that's not going to get you where you want to go. But now when you write, I love my new car, this Tacoma pickup truck, and I love how high it is and these big beefy tires, and I love the gold color it is, or the burnt orange, whatever the color. I love the interior, the way it feels against my skin, and I love the sunroof, and I love how it feels driving through the mud and the snow, and it just feels so good and I feel so free. That's putting energy and some feeling into what you want, and that's the energy going the right way. And for your subconscious to understand and then start going to work for you rather than against you, because your subconscious is really what you believe. And when you do this day after day after day after day, it becomes your roadmap. And when somebody then goes, what kind of car do you want? Boom, you tell them. Go, well, I'm not really sure. I'd like to have something like, and you don't even know. Or, how much more money do you want? Oh, I want more money. Well, how much? Oh, I'd like to be able to pay my bills. Not really. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to pay your bills, but is that really what you want? Is that as big as you're going to think? No. Write down what you really, really desire, as if you're already there. So, when I talk about writing, that's what I mean, and I've got book after book after book after book, and me personally, I write 1 page a day. So we can, sometimes they're small, sometimes I get carried away and I fill up a whole page. It just depends. But book after book after book after book. I even had people make books for me, which those were my absolute favorite. Every single page is filled up. And there's more that I write. I don't just write things that I want. I mean, it can be about my health, but when I write about my health, it's how I want it to be. If I'm writing about anything, it's about how I see it as if I'm already there. But I also write things of positive affirmations of I am abundantly rich, or I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am happy, I am smart, I am whatever it is. And so it just write it all down. I do a page a day. Yes.
And so you'd say that these things definitely have helped you get to where you are now?
Absolutely. I think it's like a roadmap, because right now most people, they kind of think they know where they want to go, but when you're asked the question, often nobody has the answer.
Right.
And when I first started, because a lot of things weren't working out, I've had a lot of challenges along the way, which I think everybody does. And I'm like, how come this doesn't work? How come this doesn't work? How come, I'm not getting the things that I'm desiring? And the only thing I really wasn't doing was writing it down. And so finally, after a couple years, because I'm like, I get it, I know writing it down, I get that. Well, then when I started, I realized that I didn't really get it, because I didn't really have the answer. It was like, okay, day 1, page 1, and I would say you have to do 30 days in a row. If you miss a day, start over until you do 30 days in a row. And then you're going to just keep going. And you're going to see what's happening. You're going to see these changes around you. But when I first started, I didn't even know what the hell I wanted. I'm like, okay, what do I want? And then it put me on the spot. And I really had to, I was physically writing it down. And I'm like, wow, what kind of car do I want? And then if I got the car, what kind of color do I want? What, a 6-speed? Do I want 2-door, 4-door? What kind of interior? What year? I'm like, holy smokes, So my first day was really difficult. How much money do I want? Where do I want to live? What do I want my house like? What kind of a relationship do I want? All these things, and it's like, when you really have to put it down, think of you like God sitting there and he's like, what do you want? And if you can't answer the question, you can't complain that you don't have it. Okay? So start writing it down. Anyway, my first day, I finally got through a page. My second day, I couldn't even remember what I wrote the first day. So I had to look back. And then I kind of copied most of it. And the third day I had to copy most of it. And about a week into it, I was rolling. I knew what I wanted. I knew on the car and the house and the relationship and financial and so many things. And I started to use more affirmations for myself that just made everything in life better, because as you're doing things on a more positive note, things that you're really making choices on, you start to see those opportunities around you, and you start to see those things around you, so now you're paying attention, and all that comes much easier. So anyway, that's what I mean by writing it down. Writing it down. So thanks.